Hi there, Flat Cup Chef, and today I'm going to show you how to make chicken soup and a variation just by adding some noodles, so chicken noodle soup. So let's see what we've got. It's fairly easy, this one. I've got two of these simple medium-sized brown onions that I've chopped up reasonably chunky. I've got 3 carrots, again, that I've chopped up reasonably chunky. I've got 1 clove of garlic that's here, and I've got some fresh thyme. If you don't have fresh thyme, doesn't matter, just use dried thyme, a couple of teaspoons of that. And then I've got 1 chicken breast. And with the chicken breast, all I've done is I've popped it in the oven for about 35 minutes at 200 degrees gas mark 6. So it's cooked in a piece of foil. And then once it's out, it cooled a little bit, then you just need a fork, and you're just going to kind of rip it onto pieces like this. So you end up with, because I quite like reasonable bits of chicken in my chicken soup, pieces of shredded chicken. And then I have got some chicken stock. Now you can create chicken stock by simply boiling the carcass of a chicken you've already cooked and then straining off all the bones and pieces, but most people are going to buy it, so you've got a choice. You can buy this pre-packed. I've got one of those here because it's really quite a strong flavour and I want a stronger flavour. And then I've got, that's about 450 mils. I'm then going to make up the difference with a couple of my stock pots in just under 600 mils. So you make about 1 litre in total, which is for 4 people. If it wasn't using the stock pots, it would be 2 of these. And if I'm just using the stock pots, it would be 3 of these into just under 1 litre, which gives you a lot more depth of flavour. So over to the cooker and we can get cooking. Here's my pan, and I've just got some oil just warming through there. It's still a bit of olive oil, but if you don't have olive oil, don't worry. I'm going to pop in the carrots. This is on a medium heat because we're going to soften these down for about 15 minutes. And there's the onion before we add the stock. So this is just to soften down the vegetables, and we'll talk about the vegetables a little bit later about why they're in there, what we're going to do with them. So there we go. Fork just to move things around a little bit. So these are just going to soften down for 15 minutes and then we'll be back. Okay, so it's been now 15 minutes. These have softened down nicely, changed colour a little bit. So now I'm just going to add my chicken stock. So you will recall I've got my packet here, and then I'm adding some homemade stock using stock cubes, which is in here. Don't worry if there's bits that it's still not quite melted, it will melt once in there. And that total stock is around about 1 litre. I'm now going to turn it up just a touch and then bring it to a simmer, and we're going to simmer this for 10 minutes and then we'll be back. Okay, so it's now been simmering for another 10 minutes. And I'm now just going to put some seasoning in. This is the point to season. So I'm putting plenty of black pepper in. Give it a nice little kick. And then some salt. Give it a quick stir around. Get your spoon, have a taste. Oh, that is perfect. So now is where we can go in different routes. So you can take your shredded chicken, and you can simply drop your shredded chicken in, keep it on the simmer for another 5 minutes and serve, and you'll have a lovely bowl of chicken and vegetable soup. Now you'll see this is quite brown at the moment because it's got brown stock in it. So the other route I'm going to show you now is to create a sort of slightly creamier version where we will actually blend this, and then you add your chicken and pop it back on the stove for 5 minutes. And I'm also going to add, in my case, some milk. It could be almond milk, could be soya milk, could be cream, and it's only a splash, not a lot. And what that means is you'll just change the colour down and it looks a paler colour. There we go, so you see it's now paler. So let's go over to my blender over here. So I've got my stick blender. These things, you can buy them online for about £20–25, and then using a ladle to put my soup into a little jug. There we go. By doing this, of course, what you'll do is you'll thicken the soup up because you're blending the vegetables in. That's it. More. It's best to do this in batches. Then I get my blender and we stick it in down to the bottom first. And then if you pick it up and do it at a slight angle, you'll find, be careful it doesn't spill out, that you get